How many of you guys know what you're going to do in your careers? So I'm going to tell you all the story of my career, how we ended up in BeerBiceps. The only thing I knew at the end of engineering college is that I'm not going to do anything related to engineering. I was also the only kid who didn't sit for any placements because, I mean, I respected the jobs that the companies that were coming, but I just didn't feel like I personally fit there. So I decided, yeah, I don't want to sit for a company placement. And I also didn't apply to any university abroad, any higher studies courses because I was just bored of studying. Like I didn't want to study. See, one good thing I did in engineering college is that I did a lot of internships, which is also a really big takeaway that you all should have from this talk. Internships will teach you more than anything in life, okay? Especially while you're in college, do internships in multiple industries. So I did my internship in Ernst & Young and I figured, okay, I don't want to be a part of a corporate. I did my internship in an engineering-based firm and I figured that, okay, I don't want to be a part of the engineering world. And finally, someone pointed me to an internship in media where I had to make some kind of videos and I really enjoyed that. So I kind of knew that, okay, let's try doing something in media. After my graduation, I knew I wanted to do something in media and something in business, but I didn't know anything about business. So what do? The best way to learn anything is go and be a part of that industry. I went to one of my relatives' businesses. I tried working there and what I figured there is the first lesson that I want to tell you all, which is that any business that you want to start, okay, it boils down to common sense. There's nothing scary about it. As an 18-year-old, as a 16-year-old with common sense, you can set up any business in the country today. If you all want to enter the startup world and the entrepreneurship world and the business world or any career really, don't be afraid of it, okay? That's the first lesson I learned. I didn't really know what kind of business I wanted to set up exactly. And one other relative of mine suggested this amazing exercise, which is just that, okay, if you want to start a business, list out your strengths on paper. So I listed out fitness, communication skills, marketing, and then they were like, okay, now create a business out of this. And at that time, there was this whole startup wave going on, especially in Mumbai, okay? So I thought, what can I do in fitness? So you guys know Uber, obviously. Okay, I wanted to launch an Uber for fitness coaching. So you sit at home and you can call a yoga class or you can call a fitness session, something like that. And we developed a whole app and I kind of put that media career on the side, but I knew that maybe I can do something in media later. So we designed an app, we went to an investor and the investor told us that, yaar, idea mast hai, but thoda iska marketing ka soch le, kya karna hai. Like, he told me that, dekh, abhi na social media bahut grow kar raha hai. Think of doing something on social media to just market your app. And I knew a lot about fitness. I'm a certified fitness coach. So I always used to watch American YouTube channels and I always wonder why no one's doing it in India. And that's also lesson number 2. Remember that Americans are, or the West in general, okay, Europeans are amazing innovators. Indians are amazing executors. Like we execute things really well. We'll take an idea, tweak it a little bit and then sell it to India. The other huge advantage that we have as Indians is that our population is massive. Okay, it's way bigger than the Western populations. How many of y'all are BeerBiceps subscribers for a while? We took a year and a half to hit 100,000 subs and the next 900,000 subs happened in 6 months. Okay, that's how fast it grew. Why? Because Jio got launched at that time. Okay, and that shows you the power of the Indian population. So lesson number 2, tweak ideas from the West. You can make a lot of money off it. Okay, I'll tell you all the next lesson. Lesson number 3, I'm going to take you all again to like the start of BeerBiceps. I thought, okay, let's have a career on social media. I thought, okay, let's launch a YouTube channel, but I'm an engineer. I had done that media internship, but I just knew basics of how to record videos on phones and things like that. I didn't know anything about an SLR or a gimbal or sound equipment that I'm wearing right now. And that's where I learned the biggest lesson of all these lessons, which is very simple. All of y'all speak Hindi? You'll know what JUGAAD means? Okay, that's the lesson. So just be a jugaadu. The biggest lesson you'll ever get from engineering college is JUGAAD. It's not your technical work, okay? Please, taliyan. No, I'm kidding. Remember, okay, I know it sounds funny, JUGAAD, whatever. Your biggest lesson in engineering college is going to come from your friends, the smart people with you. Whichever college you go to the worst engineering college in India also, you'll find smart people there. You'll find people who are good at mathematics and physics, okay? And usually people who are good at maths are also kaamchors. Like that's, I don't know, just like a common trait that I've seen. And kaamchors make fantastic entrepreneurs, okay? Right now, you all might be rebellious and you all may not want to study because you all aren't vibing with it, okay? But once you all get out into the real world and when, you're supposed to make money, you will figure out a way to make money. Now, I heard this really sad thing and I actually heard this on multiple DMs that got sent to me on Instagram. I heard that there's this big depression problem going on, especially in IIT Guwahati. where, you know, we've had student suicides and things like this over the past. Am I correct? Something like that happened. This is primarily happening because of the next lesson, okay? Remember that while you are in college, and obviously while you're in school, before you graduate, before you actually go out into the real world, and this is something I figured out in the last 3 years, okay? Your perception of the real world, the way you all are viewing it, right now you're told everything by your teachers and your parents, okay? And they have your best interest in mind. They want to look out for you, they're worried about you. That's why they tell you to study hard. They tell you things like this. So from a very young age, you're wired to think like that. And it's correct on their part. They're looking out for you. But remember one thing, they grew up in the 1980s. Okay? India has changed a lot now. On BeerBiceps, we have something called the interview series, okay, where we interview CEOs, we interview successful people. And all of them have said one common thing, that the jobs of the future are going to be nothing like the jobs we see now. So in 10 years, the highest paying jobs are nothing like the highest paying jobs right now. Right now, it might be maybe in IT, maybe in a bank, maybe as a manager, maybe a part of a startup. 10 years from now, one of the highest paying jobs might become graphic design. We're supposed to design something for virtual reality. We're supposed to design something like, you have a part to play in an AI-based machine that acts as a servant or a butler at home. You never know where the future is going. Okay? So the lesson is not to blindly allow your teachers or your parents to affect your thought process and your vision of the real world. Do you all get that? Okay? And I'll tell you all the final lesson. If you all have failed, if you all have had like some kind of a setback while you're in college, if projects have gotten rejected, don't worry about it, okay? Your life really begins at 22. A lot of y'all who aren't enjoying the education system right now, who aren't enjoying being in college, see, if you're enjoying, great. If you're not enjoying yourself, remember that when you get out of college, you'll feel like, someone's let you out of like a cage and you'll be able to do whatever you want in this world. So don't limit yourself to ideas about careers. Everyone thinks that, okay, I'm gonna do an MBA, I'm gonna get a placement, I'm gonna go abroad and study masters. Don't limit yourself to that. Right now, study everything. Keep all your options open. If you want to become a YouTuber, if your heart wants you to become a writer or a singer, keep that option open. 2019, the Indian economy is growing a lot, okay? Unconventional careers have become super high paying.